Piper McLean is a character from the Heroes of Olympus and Trials of Apollo series. In this video, I'll explain and go over her life in the Trials of Apollo. If you want to know Piper's life from her childhood and to the events of the Heroes of Olympus, you can check out part 1, which is linked down below. As always, spoiler warning, and with that, let's get started. Before going to the Hidden Oracle, or the first book in the Trials of Apollo series, a couple of events happened to Piper, so let's go to the months in between the Blood of Olympus and the Hidden Oracle. In the Blood of Olympus, Leo Valdez sacrificed himself to defeat Gaia, and a couple of days later, a parchment scroll of Leo arrived in the camps. The scroll told everyone that Leo was alive with Calypso, and Piper got furious when she realized that Leo was alive. Despite this, she was more relieved to find out that he was okay, and she and Jason started searching for him for months. The search turned out to be useless, as Leo was nowhere to be seen, and Chiron told him to stop and enroll back in a high school. Piper and Jason left Camp Haplet to go to Los Angeles, and they brought Coach Hedge, his wife Melly, and their son Chuck along with them. A couple of months after this, Piper and the rest learned of the wildfires around the area, and Jason and Piper went to a labyrinth to investigate. Once there, Jason was confronted by Hierophile, the Oracle or the Sibyl, who told him that if Jason and Piper went back into the labyrinth, one of them would die. Jason keeps this truth a secret from Piper, and they soon left the labyrinth. Sometime after this, Piper broke up with Jason, as she believed their relationship was grounded on a fake basis, and this made Jason transfer to another school. So now, let's go to the Hidden Oracle, the first book. Piper is not present in this book, but we do get a mention of her through Nico D'Angelo. Nico tells a now human Apollo about where the seven were, and he mentioned how Piper was in Los Angeles studying. That's the only mention we ever get of Piper in that book, so let's go to the Dark Prophecy. Like the Hidden Oracle, Piper doesn't appear here, but she is mentioned. Leo mentioned Piper when commenting on Emmy's tofu enchiladas, referencing that Piper was a vegetarian. Piper is mentioned again by Latirces. Latirces mistakes Calypso for Piper, as the last time Lit met Leo, Leo was with Piper and not Calypso. So now, let's go to the Burning Maze. Around this time, Caligula along with the Triumvirate Holdings filed many complaints against Tristan McLean, Piper's father. It caused Piper's family to lose a majority of their property, and it left them with a house in Oklahoma. Because of this, they had to move there, and as they moved their stuff to a truck, Piper was visited by Apollo, Meg McCaffrey, and Grover Underwood. They talked to Piper, and she agrees to join them to find the Oracle in the Labyrinth. Piper used her charm speak to a neighbor to borrow a car, and the group heads downtown. She leads them to the entrance of the labyrinth, and she shoots poison darts at the guards. Once inside the labyrinth, they ran into dryads, and they left Grover to take care of them while Piper, Apollo, and Meg move inside. They then met Medea, and a fight breaks out. Medea unleashed dragons to attack them, and Meg and Piper quickly defeated them. And then, Medea called the power of Helios, the Titan of the Sun, and she managed to burn Piper's skin. Piper shoots Medea with a dart, and while Medea was distracted, they managed to escape. They agreed to meet Jason to figure out more information on the Labyrinth and Caligula, as Medea also mentioned that he knew more than Piper did. They go to Jason's boarding school, and once there, Jason tells them where Caligula was. Jason and Piper then get into a bit of an argument, and it ends with Piper leaving with Meg. Piper used her charm speed to get a van, and she drives them to Stern's Wharf. While eating dinner, they noticed a bunch of yachts in the harbor. They all decided to enter the center ship, and Apollo and Piper went to find Caligula's shoes, as it was necessary to locate him. While doing so, Piper talks to Apollo about Jason. She tells him how she was forced to love him because of the fake memories the mist gave her, and that breaking up with him was her way of choosing what she wanted and sorting everything out. They soon found the shoes, and they learned that Jason and Meg had been captured. At that moment, Piper gets knocked out by Caligula's horse Incitatus, and she wakes up to Caligula. After Piper tried to use charm speak against him, Caligula gets mad and backhands her so hard that he knocks her out again. Apollo got outraged, and he threatened to kill himself when suddenly Jason burst out of the tornado. Eventually, Piper woke up again, and she punched Medea in the face. She then tried to run to Jason, but to her horror, Caligula fatally stabs Jason. With that, Tempest brings them to safety. Tempest also brought Jason's dead body, and Piper sobbed over it, telling Apollo that they could still get him back through the doors of death or the physician's cure, but it was no use. Jason was dead, and she makes Apollo and Meg leave out of grief and anger. When Piper's dad comes to check on her, Piper lies that Jason died in a surfing accident, and her sobs echoed around the place before Apollo left. Despite being angry with him earlier, Piper saved Apollo's life later on in the book. Piper stabs Medea from behind and killed her. The group escaped, and Piper meets with Apollo and Meg in an airfield. At that moment, Leo came, and Piper tells him the sad truth that Jason was dead. Piper cries with Leo, and Leo insists on bringing Piper to Oklahoma by the end of the book. And now, let's go to the Tyrant's Tomb, the 4th book. Piper doesn't appear in this book, but she is mentioned by Hazel Levesque. Hazel, along with Lavinia and Dawn, met with Apollo and Meg, and when she sees Jason's dead body, Hazel cries and asks Jason's dead form, "Why did you do this? This isn't fair to Piper." Hazel said this as she knew that Jason made his choice to sacrifice himself for Piper, and she knew that his death would break her. And now, let's go to the Tower of Nero, the 5th and final book. After Apollo gained his godhood back, he went to Oklahoma to visit Piper. Apollo walks in on Piper kissing a girl named Shell. She then talks with Apollo and tells him she and her father were happy in Oklahoma. Piper also congratulated him for getting his godhood back, and she returns to Shell once Apollo leaves. And that's all we know about Piper so far. When I first read the Heroes of Olympus and met her, I didn't really like Piper's character, but she did start to grow on me after a couple of books. And looking at her character now after finishing her life, she has grown so much, and I'm honestly really happy for her. So, how about you? What are your thoughts on her relationship with Jason? Let me know in the comments down below.